100% Ghost of Tsushima without dying is truly one of the hardest tasks I've ever managed to do. And yet, oh my god, there's another island. Iki Island exists to spite me. It's taunting me to come pay it a visit and 100% it without dying. You think I won't try? Then you underestimate my stupidity. I have just enough of a brain cell to make this a standalone challenge, making a save right here before I do any Iki content, so if I do die, I restart here and not the entire game. And with lethal difficulty on, Jin is a real baby, dying in only a few gaping wounds, meaning the odds aren't in my favor. But maybe for once, I can, you know, not die. Wouldn't that be nice? With a spoiler warning to all, let's go save Iki Island. Since Jin hasn't yet learned a decent hobby that doesn't involve murder, let's go investigate a Mongol camp where they have a really cool party going on. But I have an old grudge against DJs, so I immediately take that guy out, along with all the partygoers. Starting to get why I'm never invited anywhere. Just cause I haven't been invited doesn't mean I won't crash the party by sailing to Iki Island, where these Mongols came from. And I do mean crash, when a terrible storm destroys our transport and plops me and my horse into the sea. No, not again! Stop trying to kill my horse! My soul can't take another horse's death! Yeah, Iki Island's beautiful, I get it. Just get out of my way, title card. I need to find him. Oh, joyful day. He's not only alive, he's kicking butt. Or I guess headbutting butt in his case. Either way, I'm just happy to see him. With him by my side, I sneak my way into Fort Sakai, which you may not know was named after my dad, actually. But hey, why are you throwing a flashbang and knocking me out? Why does this happen every time I try talking to people? Someday, maybe I'll be able to actually finish a conversation without an explosive going off. But getting poisoned as well? Come on, this is Jin freaking Sakai. He shrugs off poison like it's nothing all the time. It's not working, and now I'm little and helpless. On the bright side, things are super stunning. I've never seen such purple. You think their leader, the eagle, would lend me some of that poison later? Just for science and whatnot. If not, good news! This random guy I've stumbled upon is actually part of a raider group fighting back against the Mongols, and will help me out. That is, if I ever get back to him. I have a lot of island to explore after all. First, I want to show off my stealth skills by wiping out a Mongol camp or two. And wait a second. What's this? I get to play the flute for wild cats so they'll be my friends? First I got to befriend foxes, now cats as well? Best game ever. Not only cats, but deer as well. This is the most wholesome way to spend my time possible. What a balance Jin is striking. Killing countless invaders in bloody, vicious combat. And then petting adorable animals. Then back to slicing and dicing. Maybe I should ponder that more. But I'm too busy trying to shoot lanterns quickly, so a bunch of people I don't know will be impressed by me. The islanders, I mean, not you guys. Though it would be nice if you were impressed too. Just ignore my countless failed attempts here and my horrendous aiming skills. I think you guys have seen enough of that. In fact, just ignore everything I do and pretend that I'm impressive and we should be good. I'm not the only bad shot, at least, when I'm attacked by a whole frickin' ship shooting tons of fire arrows at me, that at the same time a bunch of pirates are blocking my way out of the danger zone. At least they helped me out by making it super clear with giant white circles where their arrows will fall. Very handy. And if I'm not getting shot at by people who don't like me, I'm getting tossed out of campfire stories by people who don't like me. Something about how Jin's dear old dead dad murdered much of the island's population in an attempt to quell raider resistance. So now they hate Jin as well. Come on, guys. Whose father hasn't done terrible war crimes before? Oh, just me, eh? Fine, be that way. But I'm still collecting Dad's old horse armor for my horse. If only I had this earlier, I wouldn't be on my second horse. Must not cry thinking about him. At least it makes it even easier to run people over with the ultimate power that is a horse. And before you say, horse isn't a power, let me ask you, how do cars get around? Exactly. Horsepower. I rest my case. But not my body, as I had to discover a mysterious figure impersonating me here on Iki. Of course it's Kenji, my favorite lovable silly friend. Kenji is a troublemaker and is wanted by most of the raiders on the island for one debt or another. But as his somewhat reluctant friend, I shall help him. Except, oh no. Doesn't this look quite a bit like a dueling ring? and nothing scares me of dying more than a duel. But good news, everyone! I can defuse this from being a duel by using my words.
My father made enemies, but they're not mine.
Good.
I'm always surprised any option that isn't killing everyone is a thing. I still have to stab other people to help clear Kenji's debts, but at least I have the power of stealth, poison, and instant kills due to my terrifying reputation. Trust me, in Ghost, I'd rather be fighting 10 guys than just one. It's much better for my health, which I need to have if I'm going to figure out this riddle. Plagued by blood and beast, hunter, reject death's allure, prepare to duel man's frailty. Ooh, I know this one! I know this one! Well, I guess I don't know this one after all. Have to come back to that. Perhaps getting revenge on those terrible ship archers from before will help me get the old brain a-working. Probably not, since it takes nothing to one-shot everyone here, then call down some sweet justice upon them. And look, I got a nice new little hat as a reward. Nice to see there's an upside to wiping out a beach full of men. The next mission really pushes my already fried brain when I have to choose who lives and who dies. The caretaker monk of which an entire camp relies upon, or the young husband of the woman I've been escorting from that camp. Why, game? Why? Apparently the developers felt, hey, do you want to give our players a morally hellish choice that'll turn out bad no matter what, since they can't save both innocents? And heck, let's make it even more fun so that if they choose to save the monk, which I did, it turns out the woman is pregnant and now the baby will never see its father. Doesn't that just sound like a fun choice for our players? Thank you. I really appreciate some added trauma for the collection. Now seems like a good time for a break and a visit to the hot springs. They're filled with monkeys, but you'd be surprised. There's already a bucket, some towels, and plenty of candles here, so that we can all relax together and de-stress. I had no idea monkeys were such chill hosts, or even knew how to put all this together. Be a real shame if someone blew them all up, wouldn't it? No, I'm just kidding. Unless... No, I play. Unless... Before I finally get back on track with the main story and visit Tenzo, the raider I befriended before, I need to first relive my memories as small Gen with his father. There's literally zero danger here unless you count the very real emotional trauma being inflicted on Gen after watching his father put an entire innocent village to the sword. But hey, that doesn't mess with the challenge, so I guess we don't count it. Yay for us! Oh, sorry Gen. Pushing that down, I joined Tenzo in assassinating some more invaders, then befriending his group of raiders. Instead of pulling my weight though, I run off in a random direction so I can do more archery challenges, write poetry, collect flags so that my horse can have a range of color options for his armor, #GoodHorseDad, and get to climbing everything I see with all the energy of a monkey. Then back to Tenzo so I can help him take down a ship full of Mongols firing heavy artillery at us. Helps that none of them watch their back despite having full knowledge that the man they're facing off against is famous at this point for backstabbing people. Not to victim blame, but I feel this is a little more on them at this point for not seeing it coming. Which is admittedly exactly what victim blaming is. But I said not to victim blame and so can't be blamed for it, right? Like saying no offense so someone can't take offense. Rules are rules. And you know the best thing about rules? If the rule of a brawling ring is no killing, then it's my favorite place to be. I get to duel in these fun gimmick fights without worrying about dying, even if I do screw up. Which, come on, it's me. I do plenty of that. With no consequences, yay! And for winning the fights, I unlock a die merchant. No, anything but a die merchant. That means I have to collect tons more flowers to 100% this game. The agony of patiently traveling this beautiful land in search of more flowers is too great for me to bear. Somehow I find the will to press on regardless, despite heavily wondering if a fall from this height would kill me. I resist and instead play my flute when I'm greeted by a lightning strike a short distance away. Damn, if you don't like the music, you could have just said. Good thing the lightning god here is a bad shot. Oh wait, he left me a gift. Wow. It's ugly as heck. Who knew the gods had such terrible taste in fashion? Oh well, back to saving prisoners, I guess. The Mongol defenders are really no trouble for me after all I've been through on the mainland, with their one trump card being the shamans scattered about who boost their attack with their sick beats. They always refuse to play some Breaking Benjamin or Tom Rosenthal for me, so I just can't let them live. This tribe's second in command awaits me here, and wow. For a guy carrying a full arsenal on his back, he's so easy. I get why he needs all that, because I got worried at the sight of him but he's not a threat at all. My relentless attack tactics are just too much for the poor wee guy, and I'm almost disappointed how easily he falls. At least the mythic blind pirate Monkey King, which try and say that 5 times fast, I track down right after, puts up more of a fight. But thankfully, I'm plenty prepared for sword fights by now, so even though I fall once, I just pick myself back up and finish the job. And I get the reward of his armor, which is fantastic. Because at first I look like I have a Goomba on my head, then I have a full monkey on my head, and that's the best progression I've ever heard of. I then travel the land, completing everything I have left. All the visits with Memory Dad, more animal flute concerts, wiping out the last of the Mongol camps, collecting all the collectibles, though it still took me way too long to figure out these riddles. If I was Batman, I'd never be able to stop the Riddler, because these are so simple, but at least when I finally do, I get really cool armor for each of them. If I'm gonna save the island, I need to do it in style. I collect every collectible, except one record that I can't seem to track, and then I spend nearly an hour collecting enough flowers so I can grab the last of the cosmetic items. Time to finish the story. Except no, because apparently there are 5 unmarked mini side stories that I need to do, and while I was able to track 4 of them, the last one is locked behind hours of multiplayer content, which I've only ever done the tutorial for. My kind of luck. So off I went for almost 3 hours doing that solo. It proved extremely easy, being I was stuck on easy mode, and still not dying during any of that, only to discover after completing it, it didn't check off the final task after all, as it is glitched. Yay! And when trying to learn how to solve the glitch, I learned that they patched the game, so I didn't have to do the 3 hours of multiplayer content. But of course, I only read that after the fact. Yep, that sounds about right. At least the glitch proves easy to fix. It's time for a grand battle against the Mongols, where I actually nearly die multiple times. Always scary stuff, but I use my endless arsenal of tools to even the odds and come out victorious. But gasp! Yes, literally the word gasp. When Tenzo kills a Mongol while saying the same prayer as the man who killed Jin's father.
May your death benefit all beings.
Jin realizes Tenzo slayed his papa. Iki Island needs to change its name to Total Drama Island after that bombshell. And I mean, what are the odds? Really? All the raiders on this island, and Jin, in a poisoned, completely out of its state, ran right into Tenzo, the one friendly raider and the guy who happened to kill his dad? Well, alright. I won't question it anymore if you don't. Instead, I'll just get to screaming in fear as the Eagle, the Mongol leader, ambushes our group, slaughtering many of the raiders, and much more worryingly, keeps ambushing me. Resolve is what I use to heal and pick myself up if I go down, so I don't, die, and she keeps sapping it away. Very uncool. Bad, Eagle. Bad. Stop that. Tenzo and I set aside our differences to take her down, but frick, what a fighter she is. The Eagle, like the Khan before her, wields a totally new weapon I haven't faced before. Not just one, but dose. Her speed is extreme, and I can barely survive her hits. I'm actually super thankful when I get pulled into a vision with my dead father, so he can berate me on failing the Sakai family name. It's very emotional and beautiful when Jin fights off the guilt of his death at long last, choosing to spare Tenzo and racing to save him from the Eagle. Now if only he'd backstab her, not just block her swing, that would have been great, but I'm never that lucky. Such a beautiful scene, so quickly ruined by getting very close to winning. Very close is not quite what I want, because that means I go down and stay down. Wow. She was literally the end of Iki Island, and I lost. The shenanigan guarantee of screwing up when it most counts strikes again. And oh my god, that means I have to pick all those flowers again. No way can I risk losing to her again then. I finish her off and restart the fight over and over till I truly understand how to beat it. Then I restart to the save I made before Iki Island began and start my journey over again. Only this time, I ignore everything but the main story, and near the end of the 4th hour, I'm back against the Eagle. I had lost 13 hours of progress to her, and I wasn't going to risk that again, so I had raced right to her. And this time, I'm prepared. See, the Eagle's nothing like my other fights in that her extreme speed means I had to fight much more defensive as opposed to aggressive, like with every other duel in the game. But by playing it carefully, I could see her attacks coming much more clearly, avoid them repeatedly, and dish out plenty of retribution till she finally fell. I know it's anticlimactic, but with her death, the rest was simple. The next 5 hours just consisted of me traveling across the island, doing everything over again, even the cursed flower picking, and actually finding that very last record where I had started this adventure. I ended the story by helping the raider leader save her daughter from both Mongols and a mutiny. With the eagle dead, everything really was quite simple given my ample experience in this game. Sometimes, strategy leads to an anticlimactic end. What can I say? Except, huzzah! After 22 hours and 56 minutes total, plus 2 hours and 51 minutes of the multiplayer mode, with the final run taking 9 hours and 16 minutes, and for the first time in forever, only dying once, I 100% beat Iki Island without dying. I've now experienced all of Ghost of Tsushima, and what a journey it has been. It's such a great game, and I can't recommend it enough. I thank ye all for watching, hope you had a blast, and ask if you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, eat, drink water, sleep, all those important tasks, you know? And maybe go befriend an animal or two with a nice tune. See you later, friends.